Let's talk about Alien Earth episode 4. We are definitely getting into some interesting territory here, and will it ever be the same? I don't think so. So hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. We talk Alien Earth every week, and we will have a sort of like theory video on what's to come yet. So let's get into it with episode 4, observation. So this one pretty much takes place right after the events of the previous one, when we saw Wendy enter the lab where they were taking the xenomorph egg, which caused her to feel the pain and hear the screeches as well, and then she suddenly collapses. Now in this new episode, we see that she has developed a skill to be able to express the quote-unquote language of the xenomorphs into a more human audible frequency. This is very interesting stuff right here we're getting into, because it kind of showcases that Wendy is very integral to the xenomorphs, and I'm curious as to what Weyland-Yutani will think of that, especially considering the fact that we have Boy who took their things and now they're pissed about it. It's a matter of time before the Weyland-Yutani's like, we want to take Wendy now because you took our things. And I think that that's going to be a very interesting dilemma, especially considering that Joe, who is Wendy's brother, is here now on Prodigy as well and has to work forever basically. They said, we gave you a lung and all of that, you owe us a lot, it's just going to take all your life to work with us now. And that's the only way you're going to be close to your sister too, by the way, because Joe at one point wants to leave. He doesn't want to be part of this, but also wants to take Wendy. And I was just like, Joe, come on, Prodigy, boy, you think they're really going to allow this? And of course they tell him, that's never going to happen, because Wendy is property of Prodigy and you're never going to have her. So that's that. So we see this whole dilemma now brewing between Joe, Prodigy, Boy, Wendy, as well as the other hybrids, because the other hybrids are also curious as to where exactly do they fit in all of this and where is their life after, right? Nibs at one point also comes through talking about that she's pregnant, and we see that everybody's like, oh, yeah, that's not possible. And now there's going to be extra security on Nibs because they feel that maybe she's breaking or some sorts, right? And it seems that Nibs is more volatile now, and so she's going to be put under house arrest for the time being. With the other hybrid slightly, we see that he is in a moral dilemma now, because Morrow is being able to communicate with him through his like chip he put into him. And we see that Kirsch has taken an eye to what Slightly's doing, and he knows Slightly's up to something, but he's just trying to figure out how he should approach this, even dropping clues at one point. We see that Morrow then is pretty much like, get me the eggs and it's gonna be good. You're my friend. We're friends, right? Come on, bro. But we see that Morrow then has to go into more violent tactics to try to get Slightly to do this by going down, tracking down his family, and forcing him to do so, or if not, he threatens to hurt them. We see that Slightly will do it, and he directs Slightly to find somebody to take him to the eggs in order for them to be infected by a facehugger. So it's going to be interesting to see who Slightly is going to choose to go forth with this, because this is going to be one of the darkest things that one of the hybrids has done for sure, and it definitely is going to be interesting how they're going to be able to accomplish what Murrow wants to do, especially with the way Prodigy, Kirsch, and Boy are here. I think things are very much so deadlocked, so I just don't see Slightly getting out of this in a like good way. So it's going to be interesting though. The final shots, of course, are the money shots with Wendy looking at the infected lung of Joe's that has the face hugger embryo inside of it, and eventually it bursts out and we see that a Xeno baby comes out. It comes up to Wendy like it's ready to strike her, but then we see that Wendy's able to speak to it, and almost like it's her baby of sorts, and it's just like, yes, queen, yes. That's how pretty much it's acting, and the episode ends. Now the next episode is going to take us away from what's going on here and take us back in time to when everything happened on the ship. Like I said in episode 1, this was going to be the recollection of why exactly Murrow did what he did, and that's because apparently somebody on the ship wanted to get rid of the specimens, and we know how important the specimens are to Murrow. It is his life work. He has devoted his life to this, so of course he was not going to let them go that easily. So that's going to be the next episode. But what do we think about what just happened here? We have Slightly going on what I would consider a mission with no hope. I don't see Slightly coming out of this alive. Potentially it could get to Murrow whatever he wants, right? But I don't think Slightly comes out of this good. Nibs as well, I think, is really showcasing that she is completely spiraling, and I think it's going to go even further. We are about halfway through the season now, so I think things are really going to start picking up and going at 100 miles per hour, and we're going to see things really just completely fall apart for a lot of people here. Joe is already pretty much a slave to Prodigy. He was told this: if he wants to be close to his sister, he has to be here and work for Prodigy and be kept and observed as well. So Joe, there's nothing he can do right now. Now, we also have Kirsch, who seemingly is starting to really get tired of Boy. And of course, Boy is condescending to Kirsch, and Boy is trying to showcase that he is superior to Kirsch at any time he can get. And every time we see it, we see that Kirsch is more and more pissed looking at Boy like, why am I letting this guy do this to me? I'm way smarter, I'm better, and all of this. He can't keep getting away with it, and I don't know how much longer Boy's going to get away with it, because I feel like Kirsch is going to snap at some point in this season. But the biggest thing here is, how is Wendy able to communicate with the xenomorphs? What does this mean for the future? What will Weyland-Yutani think about all of this as well? And where exactly is all of this coming from, right? Because the other hybrids don't seem to be able to do this. So, like I've said before, I think Wendy was built different. She has something else to her. My theory here is Weyland-Yutani has something to do with this, and I'm going to talk about that in my theory video that I'm going to release probably later tonight, so stay tuned for that. But I think that we are definitely getting into some interesting territory. Really love it, really exciting. I love when the Alien franchise or any sci-fi franchise likes to like divert and give us like something that's completely different from what we've gotten before, and showcase that, yeah, you know, you thought you knew where this story was going, but what about this? And it works. So I've seen some people say that this is something that's happened in the comics as well. I don't know much of the comics myself, but if you do, let me know in the comments down below. Was there somebody that was able to do this, like a xenomorph queen of sorts? Let me know down below. I'm going to look into it though when I'm doing my theory video, because I do have some theories, and I'm very curious to see if this is something that has happened before as well. But this was a great episode. Really loved it. The sheep, I will not forget the sheep. RIP to the sheep. Really felt bad for that sheep. That was such a grotesque and just insane scene to see that little like life form just take the sheep and control it. And you saw Boy was just there like, I'm a proud dad, I'm a proud dad. But nonetheless, we're going to talk more about Alien Earth tonight, so stay tuned for my theory videos. I do have my video on the 70s movies, so I do have a poll for that as well, so go vote for your favorite 70s film. I do have several polls for it, so if you don't see a film that you thought should be on there, it might be on the other poll. Make sure you vote on all of them. Voting will close in 2 days, and those movies will move on to vote for the best one out of all of them. So stay tuned for that. As always, let me know your thoughts and opinions on Alien Earth. What did you think about everything that's happening? What do you think about Slightly and Murrow? I just feel bad for Slightly. I think he definitely is going to be let down, and I don't think it's going to end well for him or Nibs in the coming episodes, so we'll see what happens. Anyways, as always, that's going to do it for me. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. 50,000 subscribers is our goal. Stay safe, stay positive.